Hey, what's up guys, WhirlXbow back here, and today I'm back here with probably my favorite deck in Wild. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and straight up say it. Cubelock is probably my favorite deck in Wild. It's either this or Deadman's Hand, and I'm leaning more towards this one, honestly. Especially recently, I think this deck is actually pretty good right now. So yeah, I guess a quick overview of the deck. You're kind of like a value mid-range Warlock deck with a very powerful card in Carnivorous Cube, eating, you know, kind of any of these big demons, right? Mal'Ganis, Dreadlord, Voidlord, things like that. You eat those, and then you like Plague of Flame, and you get, say, 2 Dreadlords, or you get 2 Mal'Ganis, which is very, very powerful right now. I feel like this is a pretty typical list. There are tech cards here that you can look out for. Kanreth is not is not necessary. Mal'Ganis is not necessary. The Mistress could be swapped out for Armor Vendor. I just think currently Mistress is slightly better in the meta, especially if you're not running Zoth, which is a card you could add. I just prefer this because typically I'll have taken damage before my opponent, so then when this dies, I gain health, my opponent does it, so they don't gain the extra 4 health that they would get with Armor Vendor. But if you're running N'Zoth, obviously play Armor Vendor instead. That 4 health pales in comparison to, you know, resing a Mistress instead of resing a Dreadlord when you eventually play N'Zoth. But anyways, I don't want to dive too much into the deck. Well, I don't think there's much else to dive into the deck. You try to cheat your big demons out with Voidcaller and Skull. Yeah, there's not much else to say here. Besides, let's hop right into the first game. Alright guys, I'll see y'all there. Alright, so our first matchup is most likely against Face Hunter. Honestly, not my favorite matchup whatsoever. I'm gonna keep the Defile, keep the Kanreth. So, Kanreth is actually one of the decks here that I am not too sure about. It's a card that I'm currently testing out, so that's why I'm telling you guys. If you guys are thinking of crafting the deck I have, maybe hold off on possibly crafting the Kanreth, just as I think it's okay. It's definitely good, but I don't know if it's necessarily the right choice for the deck. Like yes, right. I can theoretically do this into a Voidcaller on curve. Yes, that is a possible play. It's a fairly good play, but at the same time, your Kanreth Prime that you get can be summoned by Skull or by Voidcaller, so it's okay. It's also not necessarily the best way to res with Gul'dan, especially compared to Voidlord, Mal'Ganis, and it has Dreadlord, especially in an aggro-ish meta. So that's why I'm saying just be a little safer and don't necessarily craft this card. I do think the card is very, very powerful, don't get me wrong. Here I'd prefer to kill this. I take 1 additional damage this way, which I mean is not optimal. But if depending when he plays Dark Skies can kill multiple things. This was actually a really, really bad hand, especially with double Carnivorous Cube. He's also just playing a standard deck, so he has, what is that, a 7-5? Yeah, 7-6. Yeah, he has a 7-6 Rhino in hand. Or he might be playing actual beasts, but if it's the deck I'm thinking of, the standard version, that would be a 7-6 Rhino. It's looking very much like a deck I helped my friend pilot, yeah. Fairly certain this is the exact deck. So this hand's really fucking bad. This was like a really bad hand to show, I think, the power level of this deck. I generally think this deck is not that bad. There's definitely worse decks. Also, I find this deck just super, super fun. But this is not a good showing of how good this deck is. Oh, I just realized that I'm still on the incognito mode, or whatever the fuck it's called. Streamer mode. Yeah, I turned it on yesterday because I was playing just off stream and I had a whole bunch of people emoting, and I turned it off and people stopped emoting. I'm not sure if they knew who I was or I just stopped getting into people that were emoting, but It was fairly obnoxious. Here I'm just gonna slam the cube, I think. I should have slammed cube last turn, actually. I'm really fucking low now, and unless I possibly top deck exactly Dreadlord. No, even if I top deck Dreadlord, I'd still slam cube here. Snipe. That Rhino is fucking ginormous. I might just be dead here. So if that is Rhino, Rhino does trample damage, and that would be 9. I'd take 3, 2 from hero power. I'd be at 6. I'd take 5 from this. Rhino also has like 8 health, which is a little ridiculous right now. Yeah, I'm not in a good spot whatsoever. If that is Rhino, obviously. If it's Rhino, he should slam it, yeah. Saw that one coming. Okay, well, I need a top deck Drain Soul. That's not Drain Soul, but I guess it's not the worst card. It sucks that I get 0 cube value this game, and it really sucks I have to play this here, but I have, I'm just dead, okay. I had to set up the 50-50. If he low rolled that and he hit my guy, I had a chance. I had Mal'Ganis in 2 turns, but yeah, that game was unfortunate. We drew no Voidcallers, we didn't trust Skull, we didn't trust Sense Demons. Drew no Drain Souls, which are really powerful, no Plagues, things like that. Very, very unfortunate. No Kobold Librarians. That was just like actually possibly the worst draw. Double Faceless, double Carnivorous Cube is never a draw you want to have unless you have other cards to go with it. Yeah. I hate complaining like that, but honestly that draw was fucking horrendous. Anyways, whatever. Let's just skip the next one and hopefully it goes slightly better. I guess I'll see y'all there. Is this the same guy? This might just straight up be the same guy. He might have done 1 a game and 1 up to Diamond 4. Oh my god. Am I gonna get another similar draw where this is gonna draw me Voidlord Mal'Ganis? Because that would fucking suck. This is so fucking bad. At least I drew Drain Soul. Arguably one of the most powerful cards in this deck. This card is so powerful. This buff, I think, was the single biggest buff they gave to Warlock recently. Although, I mean, hopefully he also doesn't have a perfect curve. Last game he basically had a perfect curve for that deck. I guess no, not really. The Arcane Shot on 2 wasn't perfect, but the rest of his plays were. Oh my god, there's the Faceless. One thing at least I know I have to learn to get better at with this deck is being more aggressive with my Facelesses and my cubes. Especially Faceless, I play very, very passively to try to get the value of Faceless Expired Merchant, which is a very, very powerful combo. You toss Gul'dan with Expired Merchant and you Faceless it, then you know, Defile or you Plague. You kill 2 of your opponent's minions, you have 4 Gul'dans in hand. It's very, very powerful, don't get me wrong. But oftentimes I'd find myself losing because I wanted to save my Faceless for that combo when I should have used it for just tempo purposes. So that's something to look out for playing the deck. Don't necessarily be hellbent on getting infinite value out of every single one of your cards. This is the worst minion to pull, in my opinion. Dreadlord is the best, Voidlord, and Mal'Ganis. But at the same time, it's better than nothing, right? It's better than just pulling... Actually, I guess second in this version, because Kanrethad Prime would be the worst. Just because this blocks 7 damage, right? Dreadlord blocks the same amount, but you also get a 5/5. The advantage that this has is that if it's behind a taunt minion, that card is insanely powerful. This card behind taunt is... I don't want to say not fair, because I definitely don't think it's not fair. It's just really fucking good. I'm hoping this doesn't die here, actually. The plan is to hit here, and then Drain Soul Sense Demons. For a very weird reason. Getting back to it, Cube is just so powerful, right? If I cube Mal'Ganis and then I plague it to kill one minion he has, I'm super far ahead. Also, Mal'Ganis is huge against the deck he's playing, so I'm pretty sure he's just playing Death Rattle Hunter, or Tonk Hunter. There's a deck I played a while back. The deck is actually pretty fun, no cap. It's one of the very few fun Hunter decks in my opinion. So that means he has a shitload of damage that he can just send at face. And Mal'Ganis is actually not bad in that scenario. Again, this card's not bad, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, oh, this card's awful, you want to cut it. I honestly do think it's probably the weakest demon in the deck. It doesn't really do much against aggro, especially not at the moment where the big aggro decks are Mizaki Mage or APM Mage and Hand Buff Pally. Definitely doesn't do much necessarily in those matchups. But drawing this Voidcaller is really fucking bad, actually. The reason I say it's really bad is because right now there's a 33% chance of me pulling this, which is not very value. So yeah, I'm not saying that Mal'Ganis is bad. It's just that currently in the meta, right, Hand Buff Pally can just kill it. Mage doesn't really care for it. It's just going to make it so he kills all your minions before he goes face, and even then APM Mage will still mostly be able to kill you. That deck is really, really powerful. Do I just want to plague here? No, I'd rather be greedy here. I know I lose value on one minion theoretically, but double Dreadlord here is really, really good. And I could slam this. I'm kind of terrified of him having discounted cards, honestly. So that's why I want to at least have a semi-decent board here. Next turn is most likely just Skull. Skull has a 50-50 chance of pulling the Mal'Ganis, or I might just slam the Voidcaller depending what he does. Again, like, say if we were later on in the game, it's super hard to predict what you're going to do with this, especially with this hand. You have so many good plays, right? You have Faceless on one of these, which is not a bad play. You have Plague, which is not a bad play. You have Cube here, which is not a bad play. You have Skull, which is not a bad... Like, every single play in my hand, you can make an argument for it being the right play or the wrong play. So, that's one of the things I do really like about this deck is... Yes, this deck might not be necessarily the hardest deck to pilot in the game. No, it's not anywhere close. I actually have a very weird list on what I consider the hardest decks to pilot, so... I don't know why, but I feel like this guy is the type of guy to be playing Crushing Walls. So yeah, it's not anywhere close to being the hardest deck to pilot in the game. But I wouldn't say it's also an easy deck to pilot in the game. Right? It's no APM Mage where it's just like, Herder, I play out my entire hand on turn 5, Herder, right? Or it's no Pirate Warrior, which is, my guy has one mana, I have 1 mana for turn, I play 1 cost Pirate. Then I punch face, right? It's not like that, like, there are so many lines, like, there's a lot of hands like this in this deck. There's a lot of different plays where, you know, do I need to value my Plague more? Do I need to value Defile more? Or do I just want to get rid of my minions? You know, sometimes it's correct to defile no minions on your opponent's board, right? If you're playing against, say, Raza Priest, you have Dreadlord Mal'Ganis on the battlefield, well, sometimes it's just correct to just slam Plague. And I know, again, that sounds super weird, like, why the fuck would I slam Plague on an empty board? For the main reason of... Okay. I was thinking about playing around explosives. Yeah, this is fine. Right? Because you want to play around Psychic Scream. Or against Mage, if I just have this against, like, an APM Mage. Oh, maybe not against an APM Mage. But against, say, a Secret Mage, well, I wouldn't do that play, but... Or... Actually, yeah, against APM Mage, it might actually be correct just to slam the Plague. In that scenario, right? Because they have... polymorph missiles or whatever the fuck it's called, which if he polymorphs this, you hit something that's not a demon, you polymorph this, you hit something that's not a demon, all of a sudden your Gul'dan is fairly weak because you're getting double Voidlord, which is a shitload of 1/1s. So yeah, there's so many small interactions like that you have to think about. Also, like, again, Kanreth being honestly not that great of a card. I actually think Umbra or Vectis might be slightly better in this iteration of the deck. I think both of those cards are actually fairly powerful. He was not expecting this, and I have lethal here. That would be 11 plus 18, so 29. I guess that could be theoretically be freezing trap. Not freezing. I think the last one he had up was secret trap or rat trap. No, wait. Yeah, I think it was either rat trap or cat trick, but I would be leaning more towards rat. I don't think that was also a great show in the deck. My opponent was kind of not doing much. But before we get into the next game, I remember that I got something here. I was playing a little bit off recording yesterday, just trying various different things out. But I'm working on I guess a secret video kind of. And I need to do a lot of testing, I find, for that video. But anyways, let's just get the next one. Alright guys, I'll see y'all there. Okay, Paladin is most likely hand buff. Hardball, everything here. Voidlord you might have an argument to keep, but I generally don't like keeping Voidlord. This hand is actually really fucking good, but also really fucking scary. Oh, it's Odd Pally, even scarier? Like, again, in this matchup, right, this card is, like, actually not the worst. Because if you get him down early enough, it kind of prevents your opponent from doing much. But at the same time, in this matchup, the card I'm looking for the most is Defile. Speak of Defile. Plague is also not bad. Because Defile, I want to hold this because I drew this Defile, which is why I tapped there. Because, like, there's a possibility, right, that's muster, next turn he's in a hero power, I'm going to take a shitload of damage, whatever. But this would give me that one bridge between, like, 1 and 2, right? I can actually just go for the Dark Skies here. No, I'm just gonna go tap. Tapping there is a little bit greedy. I won't lie to you guys. But at the same time, is that second muster? Jesus Christ. So yeah, right. That's 12 health on board, so even if I would be able to tap into Dark Skies, it wouldn't work. He has 12 health on board. So just this into Defile. I'm really low though. I don't like being this low. I'm at 15 on turn 4. Being at 15 on turn 4, if I drew Voidcaller here, would be fine. I do have this next turn, which is fairly powerful too. But the problem is that I might not be able, like, depending on what he does. If he just hero powers, then yeah, I'm able to slam it easy. But if he does more than that, it's a little bit scary because I am fairly low, right? I'm at 14 here, almost automatically. Okay, so you didn't play anything, so slamming this here is actually super safe. My guess is this is Omayog, so I need to play around that somehow, and I think that's going to be with Plague. Hopefully here I summon the Voidlord. It would be the best minion here to summon, in my opinion. He drew that many cards and he didn't draw fucking patches. Also, this is the first odd paladin I see play the pirate package. Generally don't think that's that great. He hit both charged minions. Are you joking? It's actually so unlikely. I mean, his draw is something else. Yeah, I got cucked here. What one cost spell do you give me? It's funny how much different this game was if it pulled Voidlord instead of pulling... Theoretically not dead here. I guess I still do have a chance. Theoretically, right, hit. Oh, hit. Oh, never mind. This guy plays so many weird fucking cards in his list. Faceless Corruptor, South Sea Deckhands, Hatches. Like, none of those cards have seen play non-piloted in a long time. Just because they're not great. Honestly, you're better off just playing the guy that gives all your Silverhand Recruits Divine Shield, in my opinion, for 5. That card's actually insanely powerful and it crushes most control matchups just because it makes them so hard to deal with, right? Especially if you get, like, side quests complete on them or, well, the Righteous Cause, or you get a buff with Quartermaster, right? 3/3 Divine Shield or a board of 3/3 Divine Shields is really hard to deal with, believe it or not, for most control decks, except for Priest, because it's Priest. Where they can just scream it away, but, like, Warlock, right? Unless I have, like, a perfect hand, and even then, I don't even know if I'd be able to do, if I'm able to find that 3 bridge. Where, I mean, theoretically, I could go, you know, Kobold Librarian, Mistress, Defile, but that doesn't, I'm still missing that 3 damage bridge. I would only deal 3 to the board. But I'd also need, like, a Drain Soul to pop one of the shields, you know? And if he had Righteous Quest as well, I'd also need a Voidcaller. So it's kind of insane that he's running the Pirate package, because that's a package you really don't need. Also, again, if he missed on that initial buff, I was fine there. Which really fucking sucks. But anyways, we still have time for at least another one, so let's queue it up. My guess is this is just Pirate Warrior. Yeah, that last game against that Odd Pally, I thought about it between the games. It was possibly better to wipe earlier on. I don't think so. I think wiping earlier on was, like, on the really, really early turns when he first played the muster, it would have prevented me from taking 6. But, like, in hindsight, I still don't even think, like, it could have been right. I don't think so. I think it was actually, I mean, yes, it was a good play, I guess. But I think it was better to tap there. The thing that is fucked for me is that if I would have pulled the Voidlord, he lost that game every single time. There was not a single outcome there where he would have won. Which is the annoying part for me. That's why I don't like Mal'Ganis in this deck. I think Mal'Ganis is a little weak right now. Because unless he's behind a taunt, meaning the card kind of does nothing. I'm playing against AFK Warrior, which is kind of tilting. Well, it's just a bot, so if he doesn't do anything on turn 1, I'm just going to concede. And I'm not going to... Oh. The problem is that it counts towards my win rate if I just concede here, which is what I hate. But... it's so fucking obnoxious. I wish Blizzard did something. If you rope on turn 1 with no cards in hand that cost 1 or less, it should find a way to be like, yo, what the fuck is this? And speed up your turns. If all you do is press hero power for, you know, 10 turns in a row, it should just not give you a turn. Or it should, like, force you to do something more than just press hero power, in my opinion. Because it's just really lame. I should have clicked enter. Actually, no, I can leave this in. I can talk more about this deck. The fact that you can just tank up here is super fucking lame. Or they should change how your XP thing works. Like how the XP you get, how it works. Because if they prevent it from amount of time spent in game to, you know, say mana spent, decks like this would not be nearly as popular. I mean, yes, they would still be popular. Or mana not spent with hero power. So if you don't spend any mana that's not on your hero power, you get 0 XP. I generally think that's how it should work. it does give the advantage to playing big decks or like bigger decks, right? Things like think of Big Priest, where you're playing like 9, 10 mana, 7, 9 mana spells, 10 mana minions, 9 mana minions, right? Sure, it gives advantage to that, but it also would mean that decks like Mizaki Mage, I did not mean to coin there. It would also mean that decks like Mizaki Mage, don't get nearly as much XP. So it would kind of deter people from playing those really broken decks, deter people from doing this. Because this just honestly makes the game not fun. But anyways, you guys don't want to see this, so that's enough talking for me. I'm gonna just cut the rest of this game out. I'll win it eventually. I guess I'll see y'all in the next game, I guess. Again, no one wants to watch this. Alright, so we're back. That was a big waste of 10 minutes, and as you guys can hear, the music changed. I kind of forgot that I did not have music playing. If this is Murloc Shaman, I should just concede. I think I've queued into probably around 20 or so Murloc Shamans, maybe more than that. And I think I've beaten like 2. And it's not even necessarily because the deck I'm playing loses to them. I just can't beat them. It's like fucking what's his face? It's like back in the day Evolved Shaman. Evolved Shaman, I could play a deck specifically designed to counter Evolved Shaman. You know, running like double Geist to eat the fucking evolves and whatever. And I would still have like a sub 1% win rate. Yes, I mean, those cards are not necessarily good cards, but I would still have a sub 1% win rate because for some strange reason, I just feel like I always get perfect draw. Like, I don't remember the last time I haven't queued into a Murloc Shaman and they didn't have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 curve. And I just died on 5. I cannot recall the last time that didn't happen. So I know it might just be me being like, oh, I'm just never lucky, right? There's like a 90% chance that's the case. If not higher. But at the same time, when it happens so much, it can't just be a coincidence, in my opinion. There has to be something more to it. And, I fucking hate this, like, this matchup. I fucking hate it. Same thing against Kingsbane. Again, not necessarily a bad matchup. Hit 1-1, please. One time. Oh my god, that's so unlucky. I'm forced to burn this now. Unless I draw... unless I draw Kobold Librarian, which would have been best case scenario. I can tap here. I should have tapped first. Whoops. Oh, if I would have... I guess I could have done it anyways. Depending what he plays, I mean, I do have a fairly powerful thing. Like, if he plays a Cold Light Seer here... if he does that into Cold Light... that's terrifying. Don't have a 1 cost? Or a 0 cost amount? Oh, fuck me. Well, I don't have to commit this now, at least. I can just Defile to wipe here. That's actually terrifying. Please don't tell me you hit a... See what I mean? See what I fucking mean? Every single time I feel like it's like this. I can't even play the Voidcaller with it to get like a free demon here. Unfortunate. I can play this here because it cycles itself. Ooh, there's another Defile. Defile is actually so powerful. This card is so powerful. I hope the music's not too loud right now. The music might be fucking loud. Okay, I hope that's better. I hate changing audio like that mid-recording, but I looked over at my graphs and it was like almost the yellow, which is a little bit too loud, I think. Hit here, I guess. Play a 2 health guy. Like, just hero power. Hit a 2-2? Hit an 0-2? Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. This gives me a demon with minimal damage to the demon. And this is like really good, especially if I drop Plague here would be the best draw in my deck. So I get a cube Plague, and he cries every single time. I still feel like the music might be too loud, but I hope it's not. guys can tell me dumb. Actually, I'll notice if it's too loud in recording or in editing. Of course he RNG'd both this guy and the Toxfin. Are you real right now, or are you trolling me, or what's going on? Am I being bamboozled? That's actually super unfortunate. That's actually, like, this card actually is broken. I generally think this might be the best legendary in Barrens. I saw on the cube here just so I have something to contest this 2-3. So this is probably the best. Okay, I know I just said this was the best legendary in Fortune of the Barrens. This card is fucking absurd though. There's no reason this thing should give +1 attack, in my opinion. I would be like, this card would be really good if it just gave every Murloc you played Rush. And then there's this fucking mistake of a. At this point, I hope you guys know my opinions on this fucking cunt. I hate this card more than I hate every other card in this fucking game. And okay, the problem is that honestly, the Murloc support that there was in the latest set was just too good. I feel like there were no bad Murloc cards in the set. This would have been a phenomenal card to draw last turn. I would have put this over the cube. The problem is I don't think I survive here. War Leader is my guess. Basically a War Leader. So convenient. Come on, play your other buff spell. I know you have another buff spell in hand. I'm 99% sure he has another buff spell in hand. Am I just dead to that? 7... Yeah, I'm just dead to that. See what I mean? I have actually like 0% win rate against this deck. Like, no matter what happens, my opponent has a perfect curve or insane RNG every single time. He RNG'd both the deal damage and that Toxfin. The legendary and the Toxfin were both RNG'd. It's not like he drew them. No, he got really lucky and got them off the 2-3. And also, I mean, not that many people still play Tinyfin because that's kind of a terrible Murloc in that deck, in my opinion. But he was still playing Tinyfin, and he still hit basically 2 perfect Murlocs, and he also had both of those in the top, 5 cards of his deck. So it's kind of like, kind of whatever. Anyways, I don't remember how much last game took against that warrior. That was just AFK. That was a giant waste of 10 minutes. But let's just get to the next one. Alright guys, I'll see y'all there. Jesus fucking Christ. Again, I'm gonna lose this game. I'm 99% sure. I could have arguably kept that, but this game is 99% a loss. This hand is super awkward. Because I want to play this and this before, like, I want to have both these out before one dies. And I want to coin one out in this scenario. But I also need to be able to play this. This card should arguably be 2 mana. It's honestly not that good. And I think it'd be perfectly balanced at 2. That's a really good minion for him to have. It's just generally a really good minion. Tunnel, yep, that's the classic curve right there. Again, Shaman, I have 0% win rate against this class, I'd fucking say. My win rate against Shaman, I think, might actually be the lowest win rate I have against any deck in the game. Currently it's 7. If he hero powers here and he gets the 1/1, Dark Skies wipes. Yep, that seems about right. I lose this game every time from here. At least the weaker one survived. That's at least a positive here. Like, what the fuck was this curve? Like... My guess is I'm just dead next turn. My guess is also this. I have almost every single demon in my deck. This is summoning this. And then this is summoning Mal'Ganis. 3/5 of the time here I'm sad with the outcome, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised when I low roll. Oh, I'm at 3. So that one coming. Melganis? It's almost like I'm fucking psychic when it comes to this game and getting unlucky. Almost. I'm so upset. Any of these three would have been phenomenal. I lost the 2-on-5. There I misplayed there actually. I fucked up. I deserve this loss. That's actually a phenomenal draw. But yeah, I fucked up there. I should have played the other Voidcaller hit and then slammed the plague that I drew. See, that's what I'm thinking, like, remember when I said earlier that this deck, I think, is generally hard to play because you have so many plays and it's hard to predict what your play is going to be next turn? There's a prime example. I didn't think about the fact I just drew a plague and that should have changed my play completely. I thought, okay, I have a very valuable turn here and I have the possibility of being correct on my prediction, and I went for it even though it was absolutely the wrong play to do. Best draw here would be Drain Soul, in my opinion. That's the worst draw in my deck. That was one of the few cards that I actually just couldn't play here. The cards that I couldn't play here were Kobold Librarian, Plague, Defile, Defile. That's it. I'm just dead now. Sick. Because I drew a garbage card here, I just died here. To Krog. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, I fully admit I deserve this loss. My play on turn, just play the fucking burn spell. Yeah, I fully admit here that that one was my fault. I played too fast and I lost that game. I should have hit the 2-3, played the other thing. I would have had a top me on top of that Melganis, and I would not have taken an additional 3 last turn. Or 2 turns ago. I play like garbage today. That's this game. These games are actually kind of fucking embarrassing. To be fair, that Murloc chiming in, there's nothing I could have done. I died to pure RNG. Yeah, but that game I played like fucking trash. That I deserve that loss. But anyways, whatever. You win some, you lose some. I can't change the past. I mean, I could theoretically cut that out and just put a different game, but then I'm being a fucking bitch. Also, you guys would see the win rate be one extra loss, and I don't want to lie. And also, I feel like I brought up a very good point in that game. So anyways, whatever. Hope you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, don't leave a like, subscribe, rep the gang. Follow me on Twitch as well, so you know when I go live. I should be live tomorrow, or I guess tonight as this is going up, because I record these a day in advance, but whatever. Yeah, whatever. I'll see you guys there, hopefully. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I had to say, but I don't think there is, so anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.